So hi, my name is Eric Gutierrez. Today I'm going to be presenting to you my iceberg. My iceberg is pretty much a summary of the five personas I believe I use on a day-to-day basis. So the first one's going to be Eric at work. Eric at work, I'd like to think that he is somebody that you can think of as a helpful person, considering I work in customer service. But with that, although I like to think of myself as a helpful person, I think that I have that good grief attitude, that Charlie Brown has, in the sense of sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh. But nonetheless, I think that my coworkers would definitely perceive me as somebody that is very driven, which is why I included a picture of that little gentleman at the bottom running for that bag. Um, the next person I'm going to be talking about is going to be Eric at school. I included a few different images for Eric at school because the first two on the left is a little boy looking very accomplished, and then on the bottom is a little boy looking very, frustrated. Maybe he's been struggling for a little while or whatever it is you want to say. But the reason why I included both of those is because the guy on the top left is the guy that I showed to everybody. I like to think that I made things look easy. Um, the guy on the bottom is what I think I really look like most of the time. Honestly, most of the time I'm pretty like, oh wow, like this is a lot of stuff. It can be overwhelming. But nonetheless, in order to succeed, I know you got to struggle. But I included the picture on the top right to show how I think that I'm in my own lane and I don't like to compare myself to other people. And although I have peers that are doing things that are very similar to me, I think that I have my own path. Um, the next one, it's going a little bit farther down the iceberg. As you can see, the iceberg isn't revealed at this point because this is where it starts getting a little bit more intimate. It'd be Eric with his family. The reason why I included these images, the first one, well, I'm going to talk about the bottom one first, is because it says "si se puede," which is the Spanish way of saying you can do it, pretty much. The reason why I included that is because to my family, I think that I am sort of not an inspiration, but for lack of better words, an inspiration in the sense of I'm the first generation for everything. So when they look at me, I think that they may see a little bit of hope, and maybe I hope that they think that they can do the same things that I do. Not that my accomplishments are anything too crazy, but I've accomplished quite a bit in terms of being the first generation from an immigrant family and whatnot. Picture on top I included because it's the Virgin Mary. I included it because I feel like to me, it represents the unconditional care and love I have for my family. I think that that's something that they would say that they see as well too. The next version of myself is Eric with his friends. Eric with his friends would be a very reliable person, but I disappear a lot. But nonetheless, I included a picture on the top right to represent how reliable I am and how close of a bond I have with the few friends that I have. And then I included one on the bottom right to show how I disappear out of nowhere, and sometimes I can go ghost, if you will. And then the ones on the left, just kind of rebuttals off of that. And then the final one, Eric with himself. I like to think of myself as a very gleeful person, which is why I included the picture on the left. The picture on the right is something that I included because it's the GOAT, which stands for the greatest of all time. I think that I'm the greatest of all time in the sense of I think that I have very high expectations of myself, and I think that I do a lot of things well, but no one holds me accountable more than myself, which is why I included the bottom picture. But yeah, that is Eric. My perceive versus conceive self is definitely something that I think coincide with each other. I would really have to ask somebody that I know. But thank you for listening.